What's up, everyone? So, me and amazing astrologer from Brisbane, Australia. He's at Olympus Astrology. We're gonna go ahead and jump into some. His name's Julian. Also, I always, for some reason, his name slips by me, which is very weird. But anyways, we're gonna do the moon in all 12 signs. So this is gonna be posted. Well, if you're watching this on live or IGTV, it's gonna be posted. So if you guys want to understand some deep astrology about moon signs, get ready for it. So let's just wait for everyone to join. I probably won't be reading comments just because it's kind of distracting, although I will a little bit. Okay. Let's add this man. So yeah, okay. I already screwed up my timer thing. I was going to do a timer. What's going on, brother?
Peace.
How's it going?
Oh, what's going on? My phone's not working properly. All right.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. No small talk. Let's just jump in. Moon and the signs. Or actually, maybe let's talk about the moon for a little bit, right? Like what is the moon in astrology? What does it represent? Why is it so important?
Yes, man. So, especially in the ancient times, actually, the moon was really important. It was more important than your sun, especially if it was powerful, like a full moon.
Yeah.
You take, if somebody asked your sign, more than likely you would actually say your moon sign than your sun sign. And that's also true in the Indian astrology as well.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that.
Yeah, and I like to think of it that like the moon moves quite quickly. So it's like your soul has to really calculate the time when it's going to be incarnated, for the moon. Because the moon, if I was born 1 hour after my birth time, my moon would have been in a completely different sign. So it was very So moon, super bloody important. And there's so much stuff there. There's so much stuff. Like, I know one of my favorite ways of looking at it is that your moon can actually show like an era from your past incarnations, depending on
past incarnations, you said. Yeah.
Yes. So like if your moon is in Aries, you kind of are related to the Aries period of history, which is the birth of Christianity. And then if your moon is in Taurus, the one before that, which is kind of Babylon, Greece, Rome, that sort of thing. So there's this other interesting aspect that you can see your past, your soul, basically, your past. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. So like from a psychological, and I agree. I think, the moon, everyone should know their moon sign. Like some people say, like, I know my sun, my ascendant, like know your sun and your moon if you're gonna know any two. Like it's as important as the sun, undeniably. Saying that the sun is more important than the moon is like saying that masculinity is more important than femininity, or the masculine principle is more important than the feminine principle, which it's not. It's a yin yang. So you have to know both. And one thing I find really interesting about the moon is that you can't be happy, or feel comfortable without following your moon sign. I'll give a quick example of mine in Sagittarius. I can't be happy unless I'm traveling, experiencing different cultures, learning learning different philosophies. It goes further, and we're gonna give you guys all 12 signs. And I think from a karmic perspective, because we're both evolutionary astrologers, right? Or are you an evolutionary astrologer? Somewhat.
Man, ancients talk about.
Yeah. Well, basically, like it's like you said, it's very linked to your instincts. So it's like your inner environment, right? It's like not everyone sees your moon sign. It's more hidden, but it really is like from past lives. It's like your instinctual. So it's very, very karmic, very linked to the past lives of what you tend to do, which is, this is more of like it can kind of like, you can look at the South Node obviously for that too, but the moon is the instinct. So whatever your moon sign is, there's a good chance that is like kind of pattern that you've gone towards in many incarnations.
Yeah, and also your family as well, your ancestry.
Yeah, exactly. How you feel comfortable. Like what your internal environment, like what that yolk of the egg is. I always give that metaphor. So should we get into it? I screwed up the timing already, by the way. I didn't start until like a minute too late, so I have my timer up. I'm still gonna try to do the timestamps for the video
Yeah.
when we release it. So okay. All right, so Moon in Aries, so Aries through Pisces. So Moon in Aries, man, I know that
Yeah.
one well. Um,
Moon's
what do you
good.
think about this? Yeah, my ex-girlfriend had, or yeah, yeah.
And my brother's got the moon in Aries. I've seen a few close friends actually with moon in Aries, and it's just like they've got all this energy that they have to put into something. And if it's not going into something specific, something direct, because Aries is all about charging forward, if it's not into
Yeah,
one full-minded goal, it kind of it can get a bit explosive. They kind of
yeah,
they just start doing random things, and the anger comes out, of course, as well. Moon in Aries, um,
super impulsive emotionally,
absolutely,
volcanic sometimes.
absolutely, yeah. And they've really got to work on their own anger, actually. You know how they
Their
manage.
anger, is that what you
Yeah,
said? Oh yeah,
yes, yeah.
yeah, yes.
Their anger, their kind of inner fire, because it can really just because the moon is your responses, your immediate reaction that you don't think about. So
Yeah,
if you're not careful, Aries, I mean, you're just blowing up, you know, and
yeah.
they certainly have to learn to manage in this lifetime. One of the
Yeah.
lessons, yeah,
Yeah, definitely anger, especially if they're like you have a conjunction with Eris in Aries. That can my the ex I was talking about, she had that, and she definitely had some of the anger, kind of impulsive, that energy. But yeah, so it's very there's a big need for independence too. Like Aries moon people, they love challenges. They love to like they're very assertive. They love to be pioneers. They love to just kind of do their own thing. It can be kind of stubborn, I found, Aries moon. Like it's very headstrong.
yes,
It can be really, yeah, exactly, rising astrology. Impulsive as fuck. Yeah, super impulsive. And yeah, so like you said, and of course, the aspects matter a ton, like whatever other aspects you're having from other outer planets, especially. Um, but yeah, they really want to be their own person. And very masculine energies. Even if it's a female that has this, they tend to have like a very assertive, like bossy energy. It can be a bully too sometimes. So they really have to learn anger, learn to chill themselves the fuck out. Kind of like the next sign, Taurus, right? I think you froze. Um, yeah, you're frozen. Well, I can't hear you, but I'm just gonna move into Taurus unless you have something to add, which I can't hear. Um, I think let's see. Let's hope that you come back. But anyway, so yeah, I can't hear you. I think you're muted now. I can't hear you. So yeah, one sec. I'm typing. You're muted. Um, still nothing. Shit. Maybe leave this and like come back after. I can't hear anything. Shit. I can't understand your words. Can you hear me? Yeah. Yo, you should. Yeah, leave exactly. Okay, so Taurus. I'm sure he'll be back any second. Okay, let's add him back. Invite. So okay, Taurus moon is it's a very very beautiful moon placement. Let's see if this is it's exalted in Taurus. So when you have a planet that's exalted, it basically means it works really well. Like the goal of the moon, which it's in dignity in Cancer, meaning that it's most linked to the sign Cancer because the goals of the moon. Okay, now I hear you. I think. I thought the Mercury retrograde was over. I guess not. Um, yeah. So
man,
like the Taurus
it is not
moon.
working.
I just heard you for a second. Is your connection good? Or maybe you can like turn your Wi-Fi off and go on data. I'm not sure. But anyways, guys, so Taurus moon, hopefully things will work out soon with this audio. But yeah, Taurus moon, they have a real emotional need for stability, steady routines. They're typically able to meet their emotional needs quite well. It's a very sensual sign, moon sign. So they can definitely meet their needs while, for example, like you might have a moon sign like, I can't hear you. I can't hear anything. No, I have no idea. Yeah. So anyways, I'll take over for now. So sometimes people with moon in Taurus, so they're very, very dependable, very stable, um, and it can be very nurturing, right? But sometimes there can be this stubborn streak. Obviously, everyone knows that about Taurus, but sometimes it can also be like just too afraid of making big changes. Like they can be really, really connected to their roots and to, to what they know, to like the nice things in life, and it can be in risk taking can be very difficult. That's why the opposite of decision making slow as fuck, stubborn as fuck. Exactly. Yeah, very, very laid back. But they can really, so that's why their opposite sign Scorpio, that's all about big transformation, big risks, like shedding the snake skin is like Scorpio. So you always want to look at the opposite sign to understand like even more about the sign and kind of what's needed, because opposite signs are the axes, as they're called. They're the same energy, but the opposite basically. So what else do I have? I have some notes. So also like self-worth sometimes can be too connected to material wealth. Obviously Taurus is, everyone knows that it's very linked to money and possessions and stuff. So they can feel really emotionally secure when they are, they'll have an emotional need for having their life feel nice and comfortable from a financial perspective. Also, Taurus moon is, it creates someone that's very grounded usually. Yeah, literally right as I said, that dope grounding energy. Yeah, like it's all about like internal, how do I say it? I'm like forgetting my English. Like internal resources, right? And they tend to have those on an emotional level. Let's see if Julian can join again. Maybe he had to restart his phone or something. Let's see. But yeah, so that's kind of, let's see if I can invite. I don't know. I think Julian, I think you have to send a request to be in the live. Or did you send one? Okay, I'm inviting. So yeah, so that's kind of what I see with Taurus. What else? Yeah, so they can be really connected to the physical plane. So super in touch with their body. That's another part with Taurus, like very in touch. Is it good?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we did it. We defeated it. Yeah, so what do you think about Moon and Taurus?
Yeah, well, this is something I know a shitload about because my family.
Yeah.
And actually, Taurus is a fucking amazing sign. Because it's, everybody gives them shit for being stubborn and being unchangeable and being, too kind of even stuck in their way. But actually, is the sign of love. It is the sign of the divine love, the Taurus Scorpio act, spiritual love.
Heaven on earth, right? Is what someone said. The
Exactly.
highest value energy of Taurus is heaven on earth. I like that.
Yeah, for sure. But also in an actual sense, like because Venus, which rules Taurus is all about values and moral values and doing the right thing and like having, even when nobody else is doing the right thing, you are doing the right thing. You're
dependable.
Exactly right. Living to what you believe, basically, and not what's the word? Not changing for other people. So they're so like unbelievably reliable.
Yeah, like a rock. It's like a rock that you can depend on and lean on and stuff.
Absolutely. And they want to look after people. Like they want people to have that Venus experience, that love experience, that sense of like, I'm at home here and I'm cared for and I'm nurtured, because the moon is also there in Taurus is an exaltation.
I was saying.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's a powerful sign.
Definitely. All right,
Very,
let's move on to Gemini.
I'd even say with the moon in Taurus, it's very psychological.
Very what? I missed what you said there. Very psychological, is that what you said?
Yes, yeah, because the moon is how. Oh wow, I just choked on my lemon.
Fuck. Don't die on us.
The moon is how you feel a room, groups of people, feel small groups of people.
Yeah.
You can really feel the energy of a person, of a room, of a place, the aesthetic, the feng shui, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it.
The feel, like the physical feel, like they're so embodied, right?
Exactly right. Yes, that's right.
And somatic psychology applies so much to Taurus people, Taurus moon people. You need to feel comfortable in your own body. And yoga, so if you have a Taurus moon, yoga can be really powerful for you because it's like kind of like combines that Venus, but also with that, yeah, somatic psychology. Okay, I think Gemini, right? I think we went a little bit over on Taurus.
We did.
Gem. So by the way, so guys, so if you notice with all the 12 signs, it goes from like a more like intense outer energy, and then it chills out, right? Aries, super intense outer. Taurus, chill. Gemini, super intense outer. Cancer, chill. Leo, Virgo, like you see. So that's kind of how it works. So Gemini moon, what a crazy moon sign. What do you think about these people?
Oh, moon and Gemini people, man, they're just really, really interesting people usually.
Yeah,
They just they have a lot to say, and it's almost like
yeah,
what they say when they speak, the way they speak, even. There's a lot of emotion in that. There's a lot of energy in the voice, in the words, in the communication. Actually, any type of communication. There's a lot of like you can
yeah.
feel the way they feel in their voice. That's how I would describe it. It just connects directly with your body. It's really
Yeah.
fascinating.
It's like they have an
Yeah.
emotional, it's like some signs, like if you're like super Scorpio, for example, you'll hate small talk. But Gemini moon people, they'll actually like have, I was just with a friend last night who's a Cancer sun, Gemini moon, and they'll actually have they'll have like an emotional need for like these like what small talk, and they'll have like a deeper component. You really have to understand like the rest of the chart, because I've had like I've actually come into contact, like it happens to me all the time as an astrologer. I'll get like similar charts back to back to back, or similar people, and I've seen a lot of Cancer Gemini people lately, and that's like one example of like how there'd be depth with the Cancer, and Gemini it can be a little bit superficial. So it really depends on the rest of the chart. Obviously, all these do, but yeah, Gemini moon, an emotional need for communication, for sharing information, for just being that busy bee, that social, busy bee that goes around and gets info. Very versatile mind. So on a romantic level, we should also like add little romantic things too. The Gemini moon, they'll definitely need to be with someone who can stimulate them emotionally, or excuse me, intellectually, or it's just not going to work. They can get bored really easily of people and things and situations and whatnot. They need change.
Absolutely.
They need variety and change. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the last thing I'll say is they need to really look after their nervous system, because the moon is partly your body and is how you care for yourself. So moon in
Yeah.
Gemini system and your breathing, things like that. So getting into to heal, because the moon is where we do all our deep healing, all that unconscious stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Gemini, it's all about the nervous system and the breath. Gemini is your breath and your lungs, that sort of
Breath
thing.
work is great. Yeah. Breath work is great for them, would you say?
Yes, 100%, 100%. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and like not doing like lots of Gemini moon people can be like two multitaskers where they're just like like doing this, then this, and this, and this, and this, and also they can be nervous because Gemini's the hands, right? So it's like it can be really good to like find something like the guitar or even video games if you don't play too much, like something that you can do with your hands. That's for like all Gemini energy in general. And I have something in my notes here. So it says, once you've discovered something, you will want to share it with those around. Upon this foundation, your need for communication grows. Emotional balance comes from being connected to your immediate environment and having other people in your life. The need for variety and change is usually strong. and you'll seek multiple experiences and projects to keep you on the go. Your curiosity can be both an endless source of discovery and a good deal of personal charm. Connected with others, you can share what you have learned. Moving from situation to situation generates feelings of newness and excitement that will always give you something interesting to talk about.
Yep. Yes.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. Should we move to Cancer?
Cancer's a big one. Yes. Let's jump into that. Little push.
Yeah. So as I was saying, people, there's every planet, so the moon here, has one or two signs that work best with it. It's called being in dignity. So Cancer, so the moon is in dignity in Cancer, right? That means that, I mean, there's a debate like what's better. Like so if I don't like saying better or worse for like things in astrology, but the two, I guess, best from how do I word this better? The two most advantageous moon signs are Cancer and Taurus, just from the basis of like least difficult to have, I guess you could say, the best at meeting your emotional needs, the signs that work the best with the moon. So Cancer is definitely, it's just so it is the moon, you know, it is the moon, and it's all about nurturing. Like it's super family oriented. Moon and Cancer people are just, they're the people that just take care of you, like kind of what you're saying with Taurus, but very motherly instincts. It's a water sign, so super emotional people. Sometimes, you know, but they're able to like to get in touch with their emotions, and like, you know how like I was saying before, like the Aquarius moon people, for example, or Gemini moon, air moons, they might like have something happen and not process it for 3 years or like 4 months. It's like they're on the air, they're like up there, they're not feeling their emotions. Water, Cancer, they deal with it usually, unless they're like on drugs or like repressing it somehow, they deal with it on the spot. Maybe they're criers sometimes, but they get that energy out and they meet their emotional needs. They love the home, super sensitive. It's also really important to follow the moon cycle, because it can like make full moons and stuff like that really intense. And last thing I'll say is watch out from a romantic perspective to play the role of parent and to attract kind of like needy energy vampire, because you're such a Cancer moon are such the caretakers that sometimes they'll attract that kind of energy, right? And they have to really, all water signs, more Pisces and Cancer, need to learn boundaries and to not just let people take advantage of them. And in love, they'll do really well with people who understand their sensitivity, don't take advantage of it, and who they can depend on. Yeah. What would you add?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's really, because so the sun is the king and the moon is in Cancer and the sun is in Leo, and they're next to each other at the top of the zodiac. They're at the head of the zodiac. They rule the world. And so the moon in Cancer, it is kind of a queen energy, shall we say. But we can take this as a metaphor, that this is more about the, you know, saying that like the husband is the face or the head, and the wife is like the neck. So it's like that, this sort of the deep work that happens on the inside that maybe people don't well, definitely people don't see. There's a lot of, these people have a lot of healing. They have to do a lot of healing in this life, that's for sure.
It's very karmic placement, right?
Yes, absolutely. Very, very karmic, and very, again, because Cancer is also our traditions and also our ancestry, just like Capricorn. So there's a lot, it's just very, it can be, it also depends on the moon phase as well. All of this depends on the moon phase that you're in. But moon in Cancer, definitely at its best, they are the inspirers and the leaders. They can be better leaders than a Leo. I promise you. If you have strong moon in Cancer, you can really inspire people, because they get, you know, they understand the emotions of people naturally. If you have a more challenged moon in Cancer,
it's very intuitive,
to find some firm footing. Very intuitive, and feeling, actually, it's trusting.
And the cardinal.
Your body. How does your body feel in this?
Yeah. What about the fact that it's a cardinal moon sign? What do you think about that?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, of course, cardinal is initiating. It's one of the the sort of angular things, but that will also be altered
Yeah.
a lot. More important is the house position than
Yeah.
the cardinal there, because I mean the house is based on you. Um, but in general, I guess we could say that it's an initiating emotionally initiating. So people will want to care for other people. They'll
Yeah.
want to reach out. They will want to.
They will have those conversations, you know,
Instead
they
of
will have those emotional
yeah,
conversations that like a lot of other signs and energies don't have. They will have them. They'll be like, this is, you know, and maybe they're not the most assertive, depends on the rest of their chart, but like you said, they can be really
yes,
like really big leaders because they're caring so much for the people around them. Um, but yeah, like I want to one of the comments, rising astrology, great great profile. He said something very true, and we can't never forget that Cancer is so fucking sensitive that it's the crab. It's the crab that like once it gets hurt, it climbs back in its shell. Like one of my good friends, he's a double Cancer, one of my best friends actually, and we used to kind of give him shit because he just like he would always just like deny wanting any relationship just because he was hurt once, and we're like, dude, you're literally like, you know, like doing the most Cancer stuff ever. Like you're just so afraid to be vulnerable again, and yeah, and now he has like a girlfriend, like a happy, you know, he's happily in a really good relationship. But the point is that like that's the Cancer energy, is that it can be, it's not like Pisces where it's like escapism, but it's like they're both like both Cancer and Pisces can feel too, and Scorpio can feel too sensitive for this world. And when shit gets crazy, they might, for Cancer especially, it's hard to trust again and to be vulnerable if they've been hurt.
yes, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And actually, the last thing I'll say is strong Cancer people, they need to spend some time crying. They
Yeah,
just have to. If they're
yeah,
not,
they need to let it out.
they need that. They need that physical release. Yeah. Mm.
Yo, does anyone in the chat know how long of a recording we can do that I can still post on IGTV? Does anyone know if there's like a limit? Let me know in the chat if anyone knows that.
I think
But
we do.
anyways, yeah. Yeah. I mean I think I think I posted a 40-minute one before. Okay, so we're at
Yes,
26.
yeah,
Okay, so
absolutely.
let's move to Leo. Leo moon. Woof. Okay. Why don't you start this one off? We can kind of just switch off who starts. I think it's the fair thing to do.
Oh yeah. All right. God, Leo Moon, man.
Woo!
Uh,
Woo!
that's a.
Fire sign.
It's fucking party time, man. This
That's
is
Sag moon. That's
yeah
me. Sag moon, baby.
yeah. Uh, the Leo Moon people, especially women with Leo Moon, they're
My mom.
incredible. Oh really? I've noticed
Mhm.
anyway. They're magnetic. And
Oh shit,
you know,
that's not how
one
I'm
of my
describing my
teachers
mom.
would say that like a lot of female.
I think we have a
But
little delay.
yeah. But they're like they're still ferocious, but they can hide their claws. Especially, I
Yeah,
see that with Leo women. You know, Leo's very in the light. You know, it's the sort of the hero, the strength, the shining. And with the feminine energy in Leo, especially with the moon there, and if you're a woman,
yeah,
this is really, there's still the shining and the wanting to stand and all this stuff, but it's more, it's almost a little bit like shy, kind of. I'm
yeah.
trying to, I'm approaching something slightly from an angle, from the side, rather than like
Mm.
I'm here. That's what a lot of more, it's sort of a more masculine Leo. But the
Yeah.
moon
It's
in Leo is
attention. They need
kind of
so much fucking attention. People who have moon in Leo.
absolutely,
And they can sometimes be a little bit,
absolutely they do. Yeah,
this
and they love
this
attention.
is just
They win.
yeah. I've seen,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I've seen this a little bit. I'm just going to throw it out there. So this is a generalization. This does not mean this works for everyone, but I've just observed that they can be selfish. And my mom's not selfish at all, but I've
Mm,
seen in a lot of moon and Leo people, like more than maybe any other moon sign, or I don't know, actually, don't take that statement. But I've seen how the shadow of Leo moon can just be, it's all about me, like just very, very selfish. Not, that's just like the lower vibration of it, right? It can also just be the complete opposite, where it's just like all about cheering people up. It's got this emotional warmth, but I've seen selfishness as kind of the shadow side of it, and like too much about me, not considering the other enough, and like really wanting to be too much the center of attention. That's just like low energy. But yeah, so they really like Moon and Leo, emotional need for authentic self-expression, right? I always say that with Leo, is that they're here to learn how to express themselves. So some low Leo gets caught in the idea that the only way I can express myself is if I have 1 million YouTube views or whatever. And I'm Leo as fuck. I'm Leo rising, 5th house, moon, like in whole signs, and then like 3 planets in the 5th house and in coach or any other system, and South Node in Leo. So I'm Leo as fuck. I'd say it's probably my main sign, honestly. But like Leo moon, I don't have. And Leo moon is really like, they need to learn to like create for themselves and for their own growth. And it's so fucking sensitive. This is one thing people don't know, is Leo is so sensitive. I dated once a girl who had like everything in Leo, and one of the most sensitive girls I've ever met. It's interesting because in Vedic astrology, a lot of them become Cancer. So yeah. What else? What else? What else? I think your sound's out again.
Absolutely.
No,
it can be a very
it's not.
Is it?
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, it can be lucky. Any even, yeah, moon in Leo can be very, very lucky. Of course, because of definitely Leos are always going to be about astrology to some degree, because of the stars.
You think so?
Yeah. All of the stars of astrology are in Leo. You're Leo Virgo in exactly right. Yes. Then they will be into astrology, and I mean, with those bright stars, especially like regulars, that's luck. That's the good luck, the good fortune. So it can be a very lucky moon sign as well, especially if you're born at night. If you're born at night, everything for the moon is enhanced. So
interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's a fixed sign, so they can be very fucking stubborn. They're passionate, competitive people, heart of the lion. They require a fuck ton of love. They can be overly dramatic too. There's some comments too. Someone had something. What I see. Yes, all about them, yet complaining about others and projecting their selfishness. Yeah, that kind of goes in line with the dramatic thing. So, sometimes you just really have to, with this placement, especially like in a relationship, if you're dating someone who's a Leo moon, understand that they're going to require more love and more affection and more like what's the word in English? I know too many languages and I'm forgetting fucking the main one. Just like they're going to need to be told, affirmed, like, I love you, like all this stuff like that, more than other signs, which you wouldn't think because it's a fire sign, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely right, and that's because Leo can burn out, fixed fire, right? It's they need energy to keep burning. They need to have that fixed, they can to keep to have the stamina to keep shining, shall we say? And and that can, especially if they don't know how to look after themselves. Leo moon really needs to, Leo in general, but Leo moon needs to look after their just the way they think about themselves, like who they are, how their purpose, all those Sun and Leo things, really care for their self-image. And if they're not doing that, that's when you get the real, like, please just give me this
energy vampires. Yeah, someone said energy vampires in the chat. They can be that. It's a hard fucking moon sign. I forget where I put it on my ranking. I did a post not so long ago where I ranked my personal, like, easiest to least the hardest moon sign. I don't know where Leo was, but it's fucking hard. I mean, I don't know. Any Leo moons in the chat, let me know. But yeah, everything can work out good. It depends on the rest of the chart, so let's not isolate anything. Okay, we got to move on. It's time for Virgo.
Yes. Okay.
So here, Virgo. Yeah, I'll start this one. Yeah. So Virgo, you got a Earth Mercury ruled moon. So Virgo moon people, so let's talk about mental health a little bit. Virgo moon can have issues with mental health, with anxiety, OCD. They can, they're so detail oriented that there's this real emotional need for perfection. So perfectionism, the whole thing of 100 or 0. If I can't get to this unrealistic ideal, then I should just let it fall to 0. That's very common with Virgo moon people. They put a lot of fucking pressure on themselves. And kind of similar to Capricorn moon, they can sometimes see other people as being here and them there in terms of like performance and stuff like that, when really it's the fucking opposite, because they put so much work and they're so talented and they're so crafty and organized. So they find security in the little things in life. It's also great for nurturing, and they're really on this quest on a higher spiritual level, because it's the opposite sign of Pisces, which is the most spiritual sign. Okay, take that back. Pisces is the last sign. That's why I say it's the most spiritual. But I think Scorpio would have something to say about it. Every sign's fucking spiritual. Anyways, yeah. They are on a spiritual quest towards purity, and I think of it as this like white energy is like their goal, and it's just like being of service. They have emotional need to be of service. Very reliable. They, in terms of relationships, they're going to really be seeking a partner they can rely on, if you know what I mean. Like they really like need that. And that's the thing, like so they're like, because it's ruled by Mercury, they can sometimes what's the fucking word in English? Rationalize, I guess, their emotions too much, like be too logical with their emotions. So instead of feeling into the, I'm trying to touch my heart, feeling into it, they can, sometimes be too in the mind, too in their own head. So it's really important for them to kind of like let go of this like obsession with cleanliness and perfection, and look at Pisces, the opposite sign, which is so good at going with the flow and letting go. So that's kind of what I have for that. Hard workers too,
yes,
and good
I
workers.
Like that. Man, they are. And I think like, because one of the things that when you look at where your moon is, you're looking at how you take care of yourself. How do you need to look after yourself in this life? And the moon in Virgo, I mean, the moon, it's your home, and Virgo is organization.
Yeah.
So they're going to, they will need to have an organized home. There's no doubt about that. To be,
they're neurotic. They can be neurotic as fuck.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's the danger, is that they can overdo of those Virgo traits, and so they need to be really careful to, again, because Virgo is also the self-criticism, the virgin that is never pure enough. So it's kind of needing to really needing to, the image again is the image with the body. Because Virgo is your body and your health, and the moon is also similar themes. So definitely overanalyzing, overthinking a lot of things. These are the things they need to watch out for. But very talkative, very curious, and they're really logical. They're so logical. It's like do. And with their emotions, you can be a bit like caught off guard.
Exactly.
Can start something emotional, and you're a bit like, this is really sensitive. And then they just take it on this logical thing, and you're like, oh, wow, that was, I don't know whether to be impressed or scared. That was fucking amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting sign for sure. All right, Libra, let's do it. I'm gonna move us along a little bit, because I don't want the limit to be. Someone said the limit was 90 minutes. Someone else said an hour. If it's an hour, then it would just suck so bad to do this whole live and not be able to post it. That'd be like the worst thing ever. So, anyways, Libra. Why don't you lead the Lib?
Yeah. Awesome. So, of course, Libra, we're coming into relationships and harmony in relationships. Depending on how the moon is here, they will either, a bit like with the Cancer, they will either be really good. I guess anybody with Libra, they'll be very good at bringing harmony into relationships, into social interactions, into groups of people, 100%. But this can also be a challenge that they're learning to balance out, that they're learning to negotiate sort of the tightrope of, with Libra, it's always me and other people. and where am
Yeah.
I in the context of other people. They really need to,
Exactly.
it's a very delicate, you know, step by step, trying to find their place in the social paradigm. And also, actually, they can be, again, depending on how the moon is, they can be a bit too focused on relationship or on,
Yeah. Like social
yeah,
climbers sometimes. They're socialites. Not all of them. Sometimes they're just lovers, but they can have that tendency, right?
yeah, yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. They will have a real, a bit like Moon and Taurus, they'll have a real feel for aesthetic and the appearance, you know, the aesthetic appearance of things.
Yes.
Uh, Libra can be one of the more signs. They want everything balanced. And of course, for us human
Hopeless
beings, life
romantics.
always appears. Yeah, 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 totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you go.
Yeah, so Libra moon, there's an emotion, so it's an air moon again, guys. So that's kind of like Gemini, where they can be really detached from their emotions. Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra all have that potential, but they're very relationship oriented. So there's like this aspect of it where there's this people pleasing thing that they really have to watch out for. It's kind of like Virgo with perfectionism. With Libra, it's about people pleasing and putting other people before them. They can have issues with assertiveness and kind of like putting their own foot down, because Libra is the balance, the scale. So they really want everything and everyone around them to be at balance. And sometimes they put themselves into, like, they'll put themselves down just to keep the balance. So that's a big lesson for Libra moon, is how can I, have firm boundaries, right? And by the way, everyone watching this is going to be posted on IGTV after, so or hopefully. So don't worry if you missed your sign. But anyways, so besides that, yeah, balance is huge for them within and without. Like you said, the whole thing about beauty. They're the peacemaker, so they are the person, like the lover, like the very diplomatic person who kind of like sees both sides of the both sides of an argument, for example, and very gracious, very good at like just being social beings. They're just really good at it. And then there's that whole artistic part, like and lots of signs are artistic, but Libra and Taurus are, in dignity, or Venus is in dignity in those two signs. So that, I think like Justin Bieber, for example, he's the Libra moon, Pisces sun, perfect example, right? Two super artistic signs. But it's also very good for business. Great, like for like negotiating and like work. Like people Libra moons, I've seen tons of successful ones who are just able to like really work a room and really like find rapport with people. They like they like the small talk and whatnot, and just that Venus energy just gives them this like real natural talent with people and this real charm. And even if they're not like good looking people, they're still attractive. Like they still have like an attractive energy, very gracious, witty, all that stuff. So yeah, that's about all I got. Oh, and they don't want drama at all, right? They don't
Yeah.
want drama. They're so anti-drama,
Yes.
um, and so accommodating, but they can be very passive aggressive. And that's the real thing, is that like when they're not able to get their real point across, and really like assert themselves, that's when that passive aggression can come in, talking behind the back. So they really have to learn to find their voice, is kind of what I think.
Yes. Absolutely.
Cool. Scorpio time?
Shall we jump into the got a good one. We
The
got an
fifth?
awesome one
Yeah,
coming
for
up now.
Scorpio season. Yeah. So you want to take that one?
So let's start. So, Scorpio. Scorpio moon. Oh God. Intense, dark, mysterious, brooding, very, very, very deep, and very, God, I always find like with Scorpio, it's just like things that can be so deep that they themselves are not even aware. That's Scorpio energy. That's like the full on under the surface. Um, so they this is
Yeah.
one of the signs that really needs to do a lot of healing. Again, a lot of emotional work, a lot of psychological work, actually, a lot of like what's the word, drilling down into the depths of their own
Transformation.
psyche.
Yeah.
Exactly, transformation. And they can, I would say that these people can actually be born into a bit of a tough situation in the family.
Yeah,
And
kind of like
that's
cat
saying it's the
cat moon.
yes, that's so that they can, because they're taking that experience, and in this life they're given the opportunity to transform all that wounding, that pain. So it can be really, it's a really, really loaded moon sign. There's a lot to unlock and a lot that's hidden there. And the more work they do on themselves, actually, the more they will get out of life. They can really, really get a lot out of their
Yeah.
personal life, their emotions, their healing experience, if they're willing to walk that journey and do the work that they have
Yeah.
to do. But if they don't, then that's when they get a bit stuck in the whole. I mean, they don't. We always have the opportunity to, but before the time
Yeah.
where they really start on themselves, they can be really stuck with certain emotions. Especially anger, because Scorpio is Mars. So those kind of deep, deep emotions can get really stuck, and they have to do a lot of work to make them mobile again, to make them move.
Yeah, they need intimacy. By the way, I just read online that 60 minutes is a max for IGTV, and we're like,
oh, cool.
We got to go fat. So
we'll
it sucks because we're probably like 47 already, so we kind of gotta move. So maybe we should just do like one,
really?
like just I'll take just kind of get through it. But yeah, they need intimacy. They need to be able to share their like deepest secrets to everyone or to the people close to them. They're really intense emotionally. And yeah, they really have to watch their shadows. All right, let's hit Sag. I'm a Sag moon. Sag moon, expansion. We need to travel. We need to feel like our life, we're like learning, we're building perspective, we're understanding. Like our whole thing is like understanding truth and like moving like our life in a way where we're gaining wisdom and we're very, very philosophical. Very passionate. Sometimes we can be a little bit blunt and make big statements. Start lots of things. It's super, super future oriented. People with Sag Moon usually don't think too much about the past. They're really focused on the future. Super expansive and optimistic, and all about freedom. Need freedom. And yeah, like a strong attachment for the search for truth. But sometimes there can be this like shadow tendency of like trying to push your truth too much on other people and being inflexible when it comes to like things about philosophy and truth, I guess. So yeah, very enthusiastic. Yeah, what else? Anything else?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I would say probably the one thing with the Sag Moon is that they need to, that I've observed anyway, and I've known a lot of Sag Moons, funnily enough.
Same.
They really benefit from like a bit of stillness, a bit of staying still.
Yeah.
Because they're always on the go, and that can, or their ambition, sort of their mind kind of moves pretty quick, actually, a bit like Gemini, and they can gloss over sort of the fine details, gloss over some of the important lessons that they need to learn because they're too focused
leap before they look.
And the big
they can
moving on. So that would be the one thing I would.
Yeah. And risk taking, like sometimes they can take too many risks and forget to look before they leap. That's one big thing. Is like like talk the talk, and it's not they don't walk the walk. It's just like sometimes overly expansive. They have to watch for that. That's why the grounding thing you said is so important. So definitely true. Okay, we've got like maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, Cat Moons. Let's see, 48, 20. Okay, so Cat Moon.
Quick.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes.
This is my moon. This is one of the, a bit like Scorpio, actually, this one. This is where the moon is fallen. Fallen. Specifically,
difficult.
It is difficult, yes. They have to do they struggle with melancholy and self-isolation and feeling sort of cast out from the world, basically, cast out from the main group because it's really Saturn. So a lot of their work is in uncovering the dark experiences that they've had, or it's not necessarily even dark experiences, but experiences that they've turned into a massive story about, I'm so crap, or, you know, I haven't, I'm sad all the time. You know, they have these fixed patterns that they really have to get out of. And one of the ways,
you know what I call it?
is
Let me say
through
really quickly what I
bringing in
just really quickly, I have this metaphor I always use is that they have to learn, because it's ruled by Saturn. They have to learn to liquefy the moon, right? Cancer, water, liquefy crystallized emotional patterns. Go on.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And of course, this moon is especially ancestral. It's super ancestral,
Yes.
traditional. It's very much linked into the DNA of your family. That's a lot of your healing will be around those patterns from your family. I mean, of course, all that healing is, but for the Capricorn moon, it's more poignant. These sort of the family traditions, the family history, the family patterns.
Yeah, and so linked to depression. Like there's such a tendency for depression for Cat Moon. Really quickly, I think let me just say a few things. So like super self-sufficient and strong. When Cat Moon is in, my brother's a Cat Moon. I have know lots of them. Like when they're depressed, you can be in the same house as them in a completely different part of the house, and you'll feel that shit. It's a heavy depression. Not that they're all depressed, but they have to really like overcome a fuck ton emotionally, and sometimes it feels like they're having to like punch through boulders or rocks. And they're so self-sufficient and strong, but sometimes the vulnerability is so hard for Cat Moon a lot of the times, right? Being able to like actually admit that they're like not doing well or something. So they have this like, and people usually think that they're so solid because they are, but like it's very hard for them to like be vulnerable and to really like admit like, hey, I'm having a tough time, or to admit that like they're going through that they might be feeling weak at the moment. Also that there's a huge emotional attachment to like how they appear publicly. Emotional attachment to their work, to having their work to be of value to society. Super responsible, very high expectations for themselves, just kind of like Virgo. And yeah, it's in detriment here, right? Because it's like, it can make one very self-conscious and very, very prone to kind of like that. You know, Saturn is very gloomy, and that's kind of how it can be for Cat Moons. They have to do lots of work, but when they do it, it's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Yes.
All right. I wish we had more time for the Cat Moon, but yeah, probably okay. Aqua time. We have two more. Actually, we could maybe talk a little bit. I just don't want to get to Pisces and just like not have time. Anything else about Cat Moon? Like, what have we left out?
The one last say is the Capricorn is about climbing the mountain and starting from the bottom.
Yeah.
So they have these sort of ambitions, these big goals, and like you said, expectations of themselves.
Yes.
And to achieve that, you have to start at the bottom of the mountain. So the problem with Capricorn Moon is just being at the bottom of the mountain and being like, yeah, it's all good, you know, I'm part of the journey. Rather, I have to be born at the top and stay at the top. Always, I'm on top. You know, they have a lot of lessons to learn around even humility, like you said, that focus on how they appear in society. They need to have a bit of humility about like, well, everyone goes through shit.
Yeah.
You know. It's normal and it's okay
totally
to go through shit. Yeah.
And last thing I'll say about that is that sometimes they can have like the lower vibe, and you're not like this at all, but like lots of Cat Moons I know are like this. I always know it's a Cat Moon. They can be sometimes like, very big on strength and endurance for sure. They can sometimes be flow killers, for me at least. Like just low energy Cat Moon, it's like I'm just in my zone, in my flow, doing something, and they'll like find like a little detail or something that's off, you know, like party poopers at their lowest because of that real coldness from Saturn.
Yes.
Anyways, Aqua 53. I have no idea how much time we have left. Probably like 5 minutes. So
Cool.
yeah, Aquarius Moon. Is it my turn to start or your turn?
Yes.
My turn, right?
Yep, off you go.
Yeah, my turn. Okay, Aquarius moon. So Aquarius moon, they're so fucking detached from their emotions. It's the most weird moon sign because on one hand, I love Aquarius, by the way. It's like probably my favorite sign. But on one hand, they're so humanitarian. They're so like about saving the planet and charity and just like, being of service. But then when it comes to personal relationships, there's this distance. And you have to really kind of like understand. They can be very, very quirky. And a lot of times, yeah, so it's like very, very focused on their individuality, right? Aquarius is all about individuality. So they really like want to focus on like being on kind of standing out, not in an egotistical way. They're just not, they beat to the beat of their own drum. They question things. Aquarius is a sign of the genius, right? So they think differently. So yeah, when they have an idea, they can be very inventive too. And they have this real objectivity. They can be great leaders because they can kind of like they can kind of like lead from logic, right? So like I think of if someone was like a general in a war like Napoleon or something. I don't know if he had Aquarius moon, but they're able to remove emotion and make decisions based off of like the information. So yeah, they can rise above emotional confrontation. They have like this real good perspective, outsider's point of view. But sometimes they can feel like the kind of ostracized and left out. But they're really last thing I'll say, huge need for freedom. Like just like Sag. So the best relationships is like, and I have Venus and Mars in Aquarius. It's like but Moon, holy shit, they need fucking space. Give them space. They need to be understood, like have their idiosyncrasies. I already fucked this word up today. Idiosyncrasy, whatever, that word. There are little weird things about them. They need to be understood and liked, or it's just not going to work. They need to feel so free within relationships and just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What would you add to that, my friend?
Exactly right. Yeah, no, just that. Well, I would just say the main thing is that like Aquarius looks like it has no emotion and it doesn't feel anything, but actually they're feeling it load. It's just really, really deep. I would even say it's deeper than the Capricorn moon because Aquarius has the detachment of the mind. So they're feeling all stuff and sometimes they're not even aware of them that's feeling it. It's a bit like that. Like they're just like, oh, I'm up here, and what's all this crazy emotion that's down here? That's not me, is it? And
they might feel it's like I said before, they might feel the emotional impact of an event like 3 months later, or like the Cancer moon feels it right away. They might feel it like in 6 months and be like, oh shit, I'm actually sad about this. So that's why it's difficult, because they can like shit can just build up, you know? Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome. Great.
All right, Pisces. We got to move on. Last one, Pisces. Hopefully we have enough time. What's that?
Yes. So I'll jump into it. Basically, this is the holy shit. It's fascinating.
You're getting all the hard ones. This is so funny.
Yeah, I know. These guys can go up or down, really, honestly. I've seen some really challenging Pisces moons, for sure. They can certainly be taken advantage of. That's one of the biggest things that I've noticed. They have to like the joke of Pisces setting their boundaries is like they're hammering nails into the sand. Like,
yeah. They need to learn boundaries, yeah.
Oh my God, they really, really need to. And the main thing I would say is not to like the addictions. Like they need to really watch for their connection.
Escapism.
Yeah.
Escapism is huge. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they can be, of course, very artistic, very romantic. Once you're really in close with them, they're very beautiful and feeling, and you're like, wow, this is like heaven kind of thing.
In their own world, great one.
Yeah, but that exactly in their own world. Yes. What do you add, Mr. Pisces?
Yeah, I am a Pisces sun. So they're super impressionable. So they really like boundaries are so hard. They can like really just be overly influenced by the energy around them. They really need to have alone time, or they're a sponge for energy, kind of same with like Cancer, Scorpio. So they have an emotional need to like for art, for beauty, for a correct type of escapism, not drugs, alcohol, music, something like that, right? It's a sign of mystery, right? And they really have these rose-colored glasses, especially in love. So it's a big need to kind of take from Virgo and become more practical, to see things for how they really are. It can sometimes be difficult for men in today's society with Pisces moon, because it's such a feminine and like sensitive moon placement that you know, it can be difficult. But lots of artists have this. It's super compassionate. You know, they have that feeling of oneness. Usually, you know, a lot of times they're very, you know, they can be spiritual, but they just need to find something creative, a creative outlet. They really need a creative outlet, and sometimes if they don't have that, they fall to the substances. I'm sure there's more, but I think we are out of time.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, well, I'm going to end this live, just so we don't run out of time. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. That was fun. We're going to do this more often, guys. We're going to do maybe the Mars or the Ascendant next time, so you guys stay tuned. Thank you. And follow Olympus Astrology. All right. Bye-bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Hopefully this posts.
Peace. Hopefully. I'll leave.